I'll probably be blowing my horn quite a few times in this video, so just be wary of that. Let's try this again. There we go. Fire is going. Excellent. You can see the rails all lined up there, so we are good to go. Alright. Straight section of track. Here we go. Ooh, bit too much throttle there, spinning those wheels. Ooh, she's slowing down. Bit more power, bit more power. She's huffing and puffing now. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Derail Valley and I thought I would make another video on this game today because, well, why not? I quite enjoy playing this game from time to time, and recently it's had an update. Yes, that's right, Derail Valley, our favorite train simulator of sorts, has been updated with a bit of a vegetation and floral arrangement improvement, I guess you could say. So we're just crouched down here in the game at the moment. Just going to stand up here and take a bit of a look around. We've got the turntable here. This is the harbour and town station on the map, southeast corner, I guess you could say, section of the map there. You can see that I'm actually playing in non-VR mode. So I thought I'd do something a bit different today. Instead of playing in VR mode, this is more just like first person non-VR mode, and have a look at this wonderful vegetation update. So obviously there was grass and whatnot in the game before, but yeah, it was definitely not as nicely done and refined as what we're seeing here. And obviously the addition of the flowers as well is very welcome. So we've got our locomotive, steam locomotive license here. So I thought I would take the steam locomotive for a bit of a run today. Why not, huh? So we've got the steam locomotive right here, so just having a bit of a look here, getting reacquainted with the controls. Now, obviously I'm doing all of this with keyboard and mouse today, rather than using VR. So I've got the brake hose here as well, got the brake valve. So yeah, it's going to take me a little bit of getting used to. I am very much predominantly used to playing this game in VR mode, like I said, so what we'll do is we'll get, oh, there's our wallet, just let me get to grips with the inventory here. So yes, harbour and town at the bottom right hand corner is where we are. What we'll do is we'll head out of here shortly with the steam locomotive. We may well hook up to some carriages and take them across the map, see where we end up. So strap yourselves in and hopefully you enjoy, I guess, the ride as much as I do today. Look at those massive drivers. I did forget how nice this steam locomotive is. So yes, this is basically it in here in the cab. Our firebox is more or less empty. Our water level is a little bit low, but should be fine. So first order of the day is shovel. Add some coal to the firebox. 2 loads. Now I'm doing this obviously in non-VR mode, like I said, so a little bit simplified, but still very nice indeed. Just trying to look for the lighter here. It's at the very end of my inventory. Oops, it's already lit. So let's try this again. Alright, and just hit the G key to throw it in. Ooh, there we go. So the fire is going. So from here it's going to take a few minutes just to get fired up. Now, for those of you not familiar with this game, everything does happen in a little bit of an accelerated way, I guess. The firebox temp's coming up rather fast. We've already got steam building up in the boiler. So we'll be underway shortly. Once we get to about 3 bar there, we can probably start moving the engines. So we'll let that warm up a little bit for now. And we'll just head outside and take a look around the place a little bit more. Just take a look at this little turntable. So we're all lined up to head onto the turntable. Once I drive onto it, however, I can either use that handle there, or there's another handle on this side, but basically we just need to align it to the main line there. Now I'm just going to head back to the engine and just see how it's going. I do need to kind of babysit it a little bit. Oh, okay, we're past 3 bar under pressure, so let's add some water because our water level is running a little bit low. So we'll just open the water valve there. Now this is quite simplified simulation wise, obviously. I've looked at this game before, for those of you who've watched my videos before on this game. It's mainly built for VR, but still an enjoyable experience in non-VR mode as well. So just take it up to about 3/4 full on the boiler and close up the water valve. There we go. Alrighty, so now I'm sure I used to be able to see the tender levels on here, the coal and water, but I think they've taken that away, or maybe I'm just dreaming, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm sure I've got a full load of coal and water in there anyway, so we'll just take a bit of a chance today. Got our little servicing bay over here as well, which I've covered in previous videos. You can service your locomotives with basically diesel. You can do repairs, you can fill up with coal and water and whatnot, depending on what kind of engine you have. So yeah, it's all nice and dandy. Alright, so just trying to work out the brake system here. I'm a little bit rusty on this, folks, so just bear with me while I try and figure all this out. Got our reverser here, which will need to be in full forward mode to get moving, however, so definitely remember that. Okay, headphone users, please beware. I'll probably be blowing my horn quite a few times in this video, so just be wary of that. Alright, got quite a lot of pressure now in the boiler, so looking good. Just open the firebox doors. Yep, coal is burning away very nicely. Just adjust the damper here a little bit. Okay. Alright, water level is running low again already, but we're up to 15 bar on the boiler, so that's absolutely heaps. So that's more than enough pressure to get us moving. So we're just gonna see if we can't move this thing out of here. I'm not sure what's going on. I think the brakes might be applied. Just bear with me a sec. Ooh, got some wheel spin there. Okay, now I figured out the brakes. Basically the handles need to be facing back towards me in order to be released. So we'll try and remember that throughout the course of this game. Okay, so from here basically going to make our way up onto the turntable, and then I'll hop off and realign the turntable once the entire locomotive and tender behind us is on the turntable properly, of course. So let me just do that, and I might just hop into the control booth to adjust the turntable rather than using the handles. So it's just slow and steady wins the race here. So all looking good here from what I can see. The whole locomotive and tender is located on the turntable, so I'll just hop into the control booth and sort this out. Just hop in here and just adjust the turntable. It's got some presets there. A little bit more. That's it. I think that's it. Let's go and have a look. Excellent. You can see the rails all lined up there, so we are good to go. Let's go ahead and hop back inside and sec on it. Alright, I've got full pressure in the boiler, and our water level already is quite low. So yeah, as you can see, it really consumes water quite fast, this locomotive. So just going to fill it up a little bit more this time. Here we go, moving off the turntable now and onto the branch line, and soon main line. What I'll do is pull forward a little bit, and I just realized my independent brake is still on. Oops, that's what that squealing noise was, that horrible squealing noise. So okay, so the brakes are off now. That's much better, sounding a bit better, as you can hear. Alright, so making our way over the junction here, the first junction outside of the roundhouse. Just apply the brake, come to a stop, and just need to hop out here and change the points. Just make sure before you hop out to check the condition of the fire and the water situation and whatnot. So need a little bit more coal here. That's better. We'll close up the firebox doors, conserve a bit of heat. Yeah, she's really running nicely so far. So let's go ahead and flip these points, and we're just going to back up and move into the station proper and pick up some carriages. So let's Let's go ahead and do that. Just flip the brake off, reverse it into reverse. What I'll do first is, once we round this little curve, I'll stop the locomotive and we'll pick up a drop card that will tell us which carriages that we need to move from here to wherever, so it won't be long now. Okay, just approaching the station proper, and I can see quite a few carriages behind us in the distance there. Just going to apply the brakes and we'll go and visit the station office. Make sure the train stops. Stopped right on the junction there, but not really a big problem. Running a little bit low on water again. Just got to keep babysitting this thing. Okay, alright. Now, pressure keeps fires a little bit low, but that should be fine. Should be fine. Fire should stay lit. So just going to head off to the station office here. Leave our locomotive behind. And let's see what jobs we have available. Okay, so we have a few logistical hauls here. Freight haul. I think at the moment I've only got a license for freight haul. I'm just going to check actually. What's that? Yeah, freight haul. So basically that means I can carry freight. This is a pretty standard license, this one. No hazmat, no hazardous materials or anything like that. It's just shunting, sorry, not shunting, moving carriages from one place to another. So we're looking at a job card here with FH in the bottom right hand corner. We can't do anything else. We can do shunting and FH. So here we go. Here's freight haul. Okay, so this is delivering scrap metal from harbour and town where we are. So here, all the way down here, up here, bearing to the left here, and then bearing to the right and up to the steel mill. So it's a nice and easy run today, I think. Only 3 carriages. And 174 tons of weight. Go ahead and register this job in the job validator. Okay, just grab that before it falls on the floor. So this is our job card. So basically there's 3 carriages on E50 track, or E50 I think it is. And we can see here that step 2 is haul the train to the following location, steel mill. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and find E50. So just bear with me while I do that. Just trying to find the steel mill. Nope. Alright, never mind, I found it. E50 from the looks. So basically in the distance here there's 3 little carriages you can see there, and there's our lovely train or lovely locomotive in front of us. So what I like to do is just get onto the right track and then backtrack to the locomotive and just make sure that the switches are properly set. So that needs to be flipped over like that. This one here I think needs to be flipped as well. Yep, I think so. Just looking at those rails. Yep. Hang on a sec. Yes, correct. Alright, so let's go ahead and flip that. Alright, so that's it. So now the way is set correctly. All we need to do is basically reverse our locomotive and we should be on the right track. Ha ha ha. Alright, so let's get this thing going and just take a quick look at the fire there. It's looking a little bit sad actually. Temperature's down, but the pressure is fine, so just going to go ahead and reverse for now. Oops, that's better. Nope, tender's not happy with us. And just back our way into the correct siding. Okay, getting closer now. Got some hazardous materials on our left here. Just pulling up to our scrap metal carriages. Nice and slow. Add a bit more throttle. A little bit more, there we go. Got some little bit of strange physics going on here, so I'm just gonna apply the throttle and just kissing the buffers like that. So the locomotive is actually got a little bit of throttle on. It's pressing up against the carriages. So this is very, very dangerous, obviously, in real life, but yeah, just gonna get in between here and hook up like so. Attach the brake hoses, open the air valve, and I think that looks fine from memory. Let's make sure we got the right carriages. Yes, we do. Okay, before we go anywhere, I just remembered that we forgot to tighten up the coupler. So, and open the air valve on both sides. Okay, so not only the locomotive side, but also the carriage side. Anyway, it's been a while since I played this game, as you can clearly tell. Right, so reverser into forward, and we've got a little bit of throttle already applied actually. So I'm just going to apply the brake here and then release it. And the brake valve, just release the locomotive brake as well. So with the carriages hooked up, hang on a sec. Horn. With the carriages hooked up, I was going to say the brakes take a little bit longer to react when it comes to applying and releasing. So obviously this is only 3 carriages on the back, but if you had a really long train, obviously the brakes will take some time to react. So just be wary of that. Okay, alright, enough yammering on. Let's get this show on the road. Okay folks, gonna blow the horn again shortly. And onto the main line. going up a bit of a hill now. I'm only doing about 20 kilometers an hour, so I'm being quite conservative with my speed, but I know that on this line we will hit a bit of a straight section soon. I'm just trying to see where my cylinder valves are. I can't quite remember where they were. Anyway, that's for another time, I guess. No harm in keeping the cylinder valves open for now, the cylinder drains. I've got no shortage of power anyway, so it shouldn't really be a problem. Now, one of the major goals when you drive one of these steam locomotives is energy conservation. Not shoveling too much coal if you're going into a downhill section, because then you're just wasting fuel basically when you overpressurize and your steam relief valve goes off. So try to manage the coal and keep the pressure in check. You would have heard that little ding sound just now. That means that my firebox temperature is a little bit low, but that's fine. We don't need too much power right now, so trying not to throw the coal overboard, as it were. Just heading through that little junction there. Feeding the beast once again. Keep the firebox temperature at a reasonable level. So here's our current progress on the map. Still got a fair way to go, so we'll keep on pushing. So yes, I'm expecting the switch to show up at any second. Don't want to go in the wrong direction, so we're slowing down, add a bit more power. Okay, there's the switch, let's have a look. Yep, it's in the wrong direction, so we need to bear left. So we're just going to switch that over, there we go. And I just heard the little ring for our firebox temperature as well, so she's slowing down. Let's put a bit more reverser into it. Bit more power, She's huffing and puffing now. Ideally we should have put a bit more coal into the firebox, but I don't like to shovel coal when there's a tunnel. So we'll just have to wait until we emerge from the other side of the tunnel. Temperature's coming down a little bit, but it should be fine. Just back off the reverser there a little bit to save a bit of steam. I've got heaps of steam pressure still, so no problem there. Okay, we're coming up to a rather straight section of track, so we can pick up speed shortly, but before we do that, our fire is looking rather sad, so I'm just going to go ahead and add little bit more coal to the firebox here, because we're going to need a little bit of energy in a second once we open up the throttle. Okay, so we've got a bit of a curve here. Whoops, I keep jumping out of the cab. Trying to use the lean buttons so that I can lean out without falling off. Alright, here comes the straight section. So what we'll do is we shall open up the throttle just a little bit and get some speed going here. So we'll just move the reverser down towards mid-gear, and that's similar to switching to high gear in your car. So she's picking up speed fast. There's not much load on the back, so yeah, less than 200 tons, so really that's not a lot for this locomotive at all. So yeah, this locomotive is made to pull hundreds and hundreds of tons. So what's on the back today is not really that much. So you can hear and see that it's picking up speed rather fast. So constantly vigilant here in the cab. Alright, so just rounding this curve, and there's more of a straight section coming up after this. So we'll be able to lay into the throttle even more once we finish this curve. I mean, I can even start accelerating now if I really wanted to, but just playing it safe here. The track's gonna straighten out in just a few moments. Alright, straight section of track, here we go. Ooh, bit too much throttle there, spinning those wheels. This is 80 kilometer an hour section of track, so 70 k's an hour, 80 k's an hour. Oh man, I'm just watching the speedo through the window there. Oh, it's really picking up speed now. Off the throttle, off the throttle. Wow, okay, just past 90 kilometers an hour there, so we're doing about 55 miles an hour for in the old money. Just gonna get onto the brake a little bit here because I'm just a little bit concerned. I mean, there's still quite a stretch of track ahead of us, but yeah, we should be fine. We would have been fine to keep that speed actually, but oh well. Back down to around 35 miles an hour, or actually just under 30 miles an hour, more like it. But anyway, oops, jumped off. Keep doing this. Well, that's a nice little view anyway. And back on. Just trying to get used to playing the game in non-VR mode here without falling off the train. Alright, going through one of the last junctions here. We're getting closer and closer to the steel mill. Just adding some water back into the boiler here. Everything going okay otherwise. Heaps of fire in the firebox. Some good pressure on the boiler. So yes, one last junction here, and then we're pretty much at the steel mill after a little section of straight track. Just trying to make sure that alright, I saw that 60 kilometer an hour section of track there in front of us, and it's a slight downhill, so I'm going to get off the throttle. Here comes the junction. And that looks like Wow, okay. Went through there a little bit fast, I think, but should be alright. Okay, so this is a downhill section. I'm just gonna keep the throttle off. Not gonna add any more coal at this stage because the fire is well hot. So just gonna add a touch of brakes just to arrest the speed a little bit because we're coming down a little downhill section. So just want to take a little touch of speed off. And here comes the last curve pretty much. Just add a bit more water. Firebox temps are coming down, but yeah, there's no point adding more coal at this point. Okay, should be seeing the steel mill very shortly in front of us. Speed's increasing once again. Just close up these doors to preserve what's left of the fire. Okay, 60k an hour limit, and we're just nudging 60, so yes, switch is set correctly. Wow, okay, that kind of creeped up on me, that one. Wow. So you really have to keep your wits about you here. Okay, just slowing down. I'm on the brakes pretty hard right now. Okay, off the brake, off the brake. Add a bit of power because we've slowed down a little bit too much, I think. Add a bit more power. The brakes are still on. They don't release straight away, even after you give the order to release them, obviously. Alright, there's the steel mill. I'm pretty sure I can see that. I can see the buildings at least. Just massage the speed. Alright, yep. That's the steel mill. Okay, so what I might do is just jam on the brakes in just a second and just stop short of the perimeter of the steel mill. Whoops, did it again. What I want to do is just we'll just go ahead and stop the train here. Grind it to a halt. Got heaps of pressure in the boiler, so just going to make sure the brakes are nicely set because they were coming off again. Always make sure the brakes are on before you leave the locomotive. Look at that. Legendary steam locomotive. Okay, so there's the steel mill. Just want to make sure that all the points are set correctly. I'm just going to bring up the job notes here. So A61 it says. Just going to see if I can find A61. Okay folks, I went for a bit of a wander and I couldn't really find A61. I saw all the B section of track, so I think A is on the other side. So we'll just roll on through and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get this thing going again. Alright, brakes off. Okay, so I'm just rolling through the center of steel mill track. I'm just passing the B section. So what I need to do is once I go beyond B section, there's a switch, and then so up there in the distance is a little set of points. So I'll need to set those once I pass and then reverse into the A section of track. A61. Okay, we've reached the other end of the station, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just adding a little bit more coal. Just jam on the brakes here. Hang on. Put this coal in there. Okay, very good. Let's trying to keep the fire alive because it's almost dying. Okay, so this is the ends, the other ends of steel mill. There's the points I was just talking about. Now we can reverse. And I've already set the points behind us to take us to A61. So we're just back up now. It's not wanting to move. Let's put a little bit more power on. Come on. Move. Our pressure is getting a bit low, so there's not as much power left in the boiler right now. I'm really trying to conserve my energy, not add any additional coal if I don't need to. So this is the end of the line. Just go through this last set of points here. And then once we clear this section of points, stop the train, and that will basically be it for today, folks. Alright, this is A61 or A6I, I think it is. Put the brakes on. Okay, let's go ahead and decouple our train. So we'll just couple the coupler, let that hang down. Now the brake hose will do a mechanical separation, as they call it, so just close off the valves. Just close off the valve there. Close off the valve there. Just going to pull forward now, and it should disconnect the brake hose automatically. There it is, I just heard it. Not sure if you heard that. A little hiss sound. Okay, so that's it there. Train has been separated, so go ahead and validate our job card now, and we should be done for the day. So there it is. Our scrap metal has been delivered to the steel mill, and we have not turned into scrap metal in the process. So it's always a good thing. Okay, just going to put my job card into the validator here and get our mullah. Very good. It's just over $6,000 of in-game cash. Very, very handy indeed. Alright, so it's a healthy wad of cash now in my wallet, so that's all good. Alright folks, I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video as always if you enjoyed it. And please let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like to see in the future. Locomotive is pretty much cooling down right now. There's only a little bit of fire left. That will probably go out soon. Pressure's coming down. Water's a bit low, but we'll leave her here for the time being. And yeah, we're currently at the steel mill. Maybe the next video we'll pick up from here and we'll see what other jobs we can take. So until next time.